Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to May I Scraplift You. And today I am scraplifting California Lucky, which is Erika, and I just love Erika's style and I love her channel. She has such a unique way of presenting her layouts on her channel. If you are not a subscriber to her or don't follow her already, you should definitely go and check her out. She is Erika Breslin at California Lucky. And so I chose this layout to scrapbook or scraplift because I love all the layers in it, and I really liked the the light colors. So she did use a wood grain. I opted to go with this stripy type pattern, um, and I have Easter photos that I am using. So I am also using 3 photos just like she is, and I am going to layer up my papers very similarly to hers. I think I might add one additional layer that she does not have. Maybe, I don't know. I think I have one additional one. Um, and I'm using this paper, all of this paper is from Photoplay, and it's pretty old because I have done layouts with it probably over a year ago. And it's been in my stash for quite some time. So I'm trying to kind of get it used up. And I don't even get it used up on this layout because there's so much of it. And I don't know what happened. I might have actually had 2 sets of it. So I'm not really 100% sure. So I am inking everything with the green Distress Oxide ink. And I chose to do that because I needed something a little darker between my background paper and that stripy one in the back. And then I also end up using some pink to ink things with. But I don't know. I don't know why I chose green because there's not a whole lot of green in these like papers. It's more like a teal color. But that minty green, it is in there. It's definitely in that background paper, but it's not in the ones on the top. But anyway, I like the way it looks, and so that's what I did. Now I am using some paper glaze, and I really love how that looks. I'm putting it through a stencil from Paige Evans. It's a floral stencil. And then I went and I stitched around all of my papers, and that's what I'm showing you there. Lots of stitching, and stitching around my entire layout. So I really like the addition of the texture of the stitching, and I just chose to do all of the papers individually rather than trying to do it once they were all layered up. I thought that would be a little bit too difficult, and I think it adds a nice kind of finished touch to everything. And I am making sure that my papers are lined up straight. I don't always do that on ones that have like all of this kind of layering, but I felt like these ones needed to be, especially since my photos are going to be lined up across the middle of the page. So she has hers kind of in a more of a triangular design where I'm just going straight horizontal across the page, and that worked better because all of my photos are 3x4 versus hers are more 4x4. So when I tried to make mine in the same shape, being so narrow of photos, it looked funny. So I did fussy cut out the word Easter from a 4x6 card from the same collection, and I really like how that looks, and I am going to ink that up. And for that I end up pulling out my pink ink, I believe. Let's see here. Let's see if that's what I do. I did this layout just a little bit ago, and I've done a few since, and I don't quite remember. Yep, it's the pink ink. And I believe that one's picked raspberry. And I really like how it looks. It kind of just darkens it up so you can see it on top of that busy teal paper. So I'm going to ink those up, and then I am going to go ahead and put foam tape on the back of all of those letters. And while I do that, I'll tell you just a little bit about May I Scraplift You. It's a month-long series. We're scraplifting different people. Crystal Barrett started this series, and she chose to scraplift people who follow her on her Instagram. And I am following along for the most part with the same people. And I'm super excited to be scraplifting Erika today because I actually know Erika. We've done a retreat together. We've zoomed together, and and she's just really super talented and really an awesome creative person to follow, and she's just such an awesome person in general. So um, leaving her a little bit of love today. A lot of the people I didn't really know on that I didn't really know the people that I was scraplifting for the most part, but there are a few that I do, and so that's always a treat when you know the person, and I just like her style. Okay, so I got those popped up onto foam, and I am kind of overlapping them because they were a little bit wider if I just put them straight across next to each other. They were a little bit wider than the paper, so I chose to go ahead and overlap them just a little bit and give them a little bit of wonky movement. I think that when you do this with your letters, it does add a little movement to your page, and so I thought that's kind of fun, especially since in the photos there's quite a bit of movement going on. The kids are searching for their Easter eggs. And then there's this, at first I thought this was like one of those sandwich board type deals that you put out in front of your store, but then it actually looks like one of those pull tag type things you get at the butcher section, or maybe like if you were old school ice cream shop type deal, you would get like the little pink pull tab that gives you your number. That's more of what this looks like to me. And anyway, I thought it was cute, so I went ahead and decided to use that, and it's just more ephemera about Easter. And so I popped that up and overlapped it as well. And then I'm just looking at the sticker sheet and trying to decide what I want to use. And again, I am inking everything up. I tried to use this, the rainbow, but it just didn't make the cut. It didn't fit anywhere that I thought it looked right, and so back to the sticker page it went. I think this piece says hop to it or something to that effect. I thought that was fun, and it just gave a little bit of added detail down underneath the title. So I went ahead and popped that up onto some foam tape. I also just use, in case you didn't know, just plain old craft foam from Walmart. It comes in like a 5x7 sheet. One side is adhesive, and I like it because it's easy to tear with my hands. I don't have to always cut it. I do cut strips of it and keep them in a bin next to me so that I have strips easily available, but I also have the full sheets in case there's something large that I want to pop up, like maybe a photograph or I don't know, a 3x4 card or something like that. And so I do like that. I also really like it. I have discovered that I can cut a piece of it and put my pattern paper on the adhesive side, and then I can run it through my Sidekick with alphabet dies, and then create pretty much my own cardstock foam combination faux thickers. So I didn't do that on this page, but I have started doing that on other pages. Sometimes I just use the foam as is, but I also have found that you can put your cardstock or your patterned paper right on top of the adhesive portion of it and cut it, and then stick it down on your page using some liquid glue, and it works really, really well. And it allows you to use your pattern paper in a different way and bring those same colors into different areas that you would already find in your pattern paper. Especially awesome if you don't have a lot of ephemera or a lot of embellishments from a particular collection that you need or that you're trying to match up. So I added this basket of flowers. I'm adding some butterflies. The butterflies have foam tape on the wings, and then they are liquid glue right down the center, and I'm using my tweezers to kind of hold it there so it sets up and stays stuck to my page. And it's a great way to keep working, but also have your tweezers do the work for you, is what I'm trying to say. So this one in the middle, I didn't really have that option. I had to kind of sit there and hold it because my tweezers didn't have anything that I could tuck it under. That yellow paper was already stuck down too much. I could not put my tweezers underneath it. So while I'm holding it down with one finger, I am inking up these little hearts and scattering them around into each of the embellishment areas. and I really like how that looks. And I really like the softness of this layout. I don't tend to use pastels really frequently, and I think it's kind of a nice change. I really do like the bright bold colors, and I mean the yellow is definitely bright, and the teal is kind of bright too, but you know, it's still kind of leans more towards the pastel side because everything else is pastel. So I'm going to add a little bit of ink, some mist. I'm just going to tap that around and have some splatter. I like how that's looking. I do add some, let's see here, I believe I do go back and add some sequins to each of those areas as well. And I do add some thread. She has thread on her layout, and that's not something I do super frequently, but she has some black thread tucked under her embellishment areas, so I tucked some yellow thread. I did not want to add black because nothing is black on this layout to begin with, and so I thought I would just go with the yellow and pull yellow into each of these embellishment clusters, which worked out really well because I didn't really have yellow in this bottom one for the most part. There's a little bit of yellow on that little tag, but for the most part there's not a lot of yellow. And so that's a great way to bring in more color to certain areas if you're trying to create balance with your colors. Like let's say you have, like I have a yellow butterfly in that upper left hand corner, but I didn't have too much yellow in the other areas. Now I do add some yellow still into that area just to keep it continuity, but I think this is a good way to bring in something different. And it also brings in a different texture, which is also a really nice thing to do on your layout, to have different textures. And it also brings in the stitching that's around everything, so it kind of pulls all of that together. Now I'm using some sequins. These are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I don't know the name of them. They don't actually have a name on them because they were from a kit club, and so there is no name on them. But I really like these. They're iridescent and kind of a pinkish color, and so I like how those are looking. And then in that same pack there's these, like, they're little hearts, but they're almost like they're made out of beads. And so I am going to add one of those to this layout. And later in the month I will be working on a companion piece to this, a companion page. And so I will be pulling in one of those other hearts on that companion page, and I will be using more of this kind of paper, but on a different layout. So I hope you really enjoyed this video today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I know you have a lot of options of people to watch out there, and I am very honored that you chose me today. If you don't mind hitting the like button down below, I'd really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.